From Ashley.
Grant, what is your opinion of the new SGA Constitution, and which changes do you feel will have the greatest effect?
Thank you, Ashley. The new SGA Constitution is a document that was long needed for our Student Government Association and for the university. The changes that are reflected in the new SGA Constitution include things like restructuring the executive board to limit the power of the executive vice president and give the legislative branch more power. But the change that I like the most are the changes that come with first-year council. By putting first-year council under the direction of the president, by making sure that first-year council will be an unprejudiced selection process, by making sure that we have a blind application and interview process, we can ensure non-prejudice and non-bias in the selection of first-year council and begin to form new leaders for the future of our university that include a diverse group of our leaders.
Thank you, Grant. Rebuttal, Nancy.
I do believe that the new Constitution is something that was well needed, and it did take about 300 hours, I believe, to make sure that those constitutional revisions were in place. But I always want to challenge students to look at what is placed before them and adequately analyze the information and make sure that if there is something that can be improved on, that we make sure we address that issue. For instance, the FAC composition of the committee. It was not the intention of the administration to remove seats from student organizations from that committee, but once we realized that was a problem, we worked to fix that solution and put more seats for student organizations outside of SGA to have a voice in where the money, our $120,000 budget in the past goes towards, and to make sure that students see that their voice can be heard, and we can continue to make these revisions and make our Constitution stronger. And I'm really excited to work under this new piece of law.
Thank you, Nancy. Cross rebuttal, Grant.
Thank you. Being in SGA since last April when I began my term as Vice President for External Affairs, I saw the initial concerns that were brought before the SGA about the current Constitution. I saw the changes that were made throughout the entire process to change that Constitution to have a better word for you. Because I have been in SGA and because I have seen the changes that have been made to our government documents, as President, I will be able to adhere to the Constitution and I will be able to make sure it continues to work for you.
Good deal. Next question will come from Richard.
Do you think you will actually be able to accomplish the things expressed in the platform, namely uniting campus through the SGA, considering a majority of the current SGA supports your opposition?
I do believe that it was more than feasible to work with these students because they have such a passion, and I already have a good working relationship and connection with some of the students who are running unopposed, like Mark David Kennedy, who's done an excellent job with FAC, and David Wilson, who has such a passion and drive for student affairs. And I believe that the students in SGA are truly passionate about serving their student body, then it won't matter what other organization they're a part of. They'll be willing to work with me and I with them to make these changes on campus.
Thanks, Nancy. Rebuttal, Grant.
I absolutely think we will be able to make confident steps towards unity for our campus. I believe that my platform, directed at focusing 80% of our efforts on engaging with freshmen, will directly benefit future generations of Alabama students. I think that having been in SGA since last April and working with these same SGA members will directly benefit my next administration if elected. I believe that my time spent in SGA and my platform I feel is to engage freshmen, to focus on generations farther than what we're going to experience over the next year, will be able to be accomplished.
Okay, Grant. Thanks. Cross rebuttal, Nancy.
One thing I did want to mention as well is that being a part of an organization or an institution that has people from different backgrounds creates a positive challenge. And it really will make us face the issue that's been on campus for too long and help us work together aside from our differences to be that example for students that even though we come from different segments, you can work to achieve a common goal. And I feel like that would be the best example for unity is to be that example of visual on campus.
Yeah, thanks, Nancy. Our next question will come from Teddy.
This question is for Grant. How have you prepared yourself to work with your administration as the next SGA president?
I prepared to work with administration since the first month on campus when I was a freshman in fall 2008. Starting in first year council, it was my drive, the things that I learned about SGA, the differences that even a freshman can make through SGA, through first year council, and the bigger differences you can make through Senate and into the executive council. I learned that administration They are happy to hear the concerns of a freshman, to hear how they want to make a difference. And because I learned that on my first year on campus through SGA, I have been able to make those personal connections with the administration. I do have those administration on call to be able to say, this is what the students need, this is the direction we need to be headed, and as your SGA president, I will be able to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Grant. Cross rebuttal, Nancy.
I feel as though I have the adequate experience, if not more, with the administration. And they're really open to any student that walks into their office with an idea. And I don't believe that just because in the past, even though I've had countless meetings with Dr. Wilson and people like that they're going to close the door if the student comes in and they're having met with them before. Because that's not what their service is as administration. They're there to have an open door policy and to work with students. And if we have bright ideas and bright progress, they'll be well willing to work with any student that wants to walk in.
Thank you, Nancy. Cross rebuttal.
I am very happy with the way the administration operates. I love the fact that they have consistent open door policies to any student that wants to visit them with concerns or issues. But I also understand that they know that someone that's been in SGA since their freshman year, knows the intricacies of SGA, knows the complexities of its operations, and they are going to work with them, and they can trust them with this position of president.
Thanks, Grant. The next question will come from Alex.
Nancy, part of your platform is to create a panel of student leaders from every corner of campus. What sorts of groups are you seeking to have represented, and how will you use this panel to promote unity on campus?
Well, I feel like our campus already has dozens of leaders who are shining bright and really spoken out within their respective communities, whether it be Spectrum or the Black Student Union. And I want to extend this opportunity to them, but also speaking to those students who have so much to say, who may not have a label or a title, or have actively taken an active role in making change on campus, and welcome them to work with SGA. And they may not be associated with the organization, but really pinpoint those students, some of which I met just recently with campaigning and making sure that we don't stop here and that we will continue with the next administration is really the areas that I really want to pinpoint. Not just the campus leaders and the faces you see every day, but that student that has been disconnected from SGA and has so many solutions for us to jump on.
Yeah, thank you, Nancy. Rebuttal, Grant.
The University of Alabama most definitely has dozens of student leaders. And through operations like having so many student leaders, we've also created dozens of panels. What I would like to foster is personal relationships with these student leaders. I want to foster personal relationships so that they don't have to be in a formal panel. They can come to my office at any time of the day, any day of the week, and come to me with their concerns as a personal friend. By fostering those personal relationships and eliminating the need for a panel, we begin to actually move forward and work together, lead by example for future generations.
Thank you, Grant. Cross rebuttal, Nancy.
A positive thing that comes from panels is it's not just you with that person, but they really get to interact with other student leaders across campus. And by default, they're building those bonds with each other, and not just one person, but they're learning how to work and cooperate with groups that they may not have connections with beforehand, and really creating a synergy that even though you are working alone, if you really combine your efforts, we can take so much pressure off of one person and off of one community and work together as a whole to reach this unification that we so desperately need.
Thank you, Nancy. Now, the second question will be coming from our panel, and they will choose the opposite candidate that they asked the question of earlier.